partners walked out twice. The same hand signed both dissolutions. The ink was still wet on the second when the man walked out and started the third. He failed twice before 40. The Detroit Automobile Company and the Henry Ford Company both collapsed, and partners abandoned him both times. The first company had 12 investors. Ford gave them what they wanted: a 40-page prospectus, 3 departments, 2 locations, a secretary for each partner, meetings every Tuesday, reports every Friday. The machine they built was heavier than the German design they copied. It cost more. It broke more. The investors wanted their money back, or did not have it. The company closed in 18 months. The ledger showed 12 names crossed out in red. The gear had turned for 12 masters and turned for none of them well. The second company had 6 investors. Ford gave them less but still too much. A 20-page prospectus, 2 departments, 1 location, meetings on Tuesdays only, reports when asked. The machine was lighter but still not light enough. It cost less but still not less enough. The partners wanted control. Ford would not give it. They walked. The company closed in 12 months. The ledger showed 6 more names crossed out. The gear had turned for 6 masters and turned better, but still not well enough. He was 40 years old. 2 failures. No capital. A son to feed. So he built a race car. Not to race. To prove he was still alive. The 999 had 4 cylinders, 80 horsepower, and an exhaust so loud it sounded like gunfire. Barney Oldfield had never driven a car before Ford put him in the seat. He was a bicycle racer from Salt Lake City. Ford said go. Oldfield drove it like a man with nothing to lose, which was exactly what he was. He beat Alexander Winton by half a mile. The crowd went silent when Winton's bearings burned and the Ford roared past. After the race, Oldfield said, "I might as well be dead as dead broke." Ford didn't correct him. He knew exactly what that meant. The gear that turns for many master strips faster than the gear that turns for one. You believe more is proof. More hours, more steps, more parts, more meetings, more explanations, more attachments, more bullet points. You add because you are afraid that less means exposed. Less means they will see you did not think it through. Less means they will ask the question you cannot answer. Less means you are not enough. The gear turns. You add another gear. The load increases. The friction builds. Every time you wrote 3 paragraphs when one would do, you were not being thorough. You were building a wall. Every time you added a step to the process, you were not improving it. You were making it heavy enough that no one could lift it, including you. The process ate the purpose. The weight ate the machine. You check the document one more time before you send it. Then you check it again. The third check is not for errors. The third check is for courage. You do not have enough. You add a 4th paragraph. You attach a spreadsheet no one asked for. You schedule a meeting to discuss what the email already said. The meeting needs an agenda. The agenda needs bullet points. The bullet points need sub-bullets. The gear still turns. The machine does not notice the weight you added. You notice. Your back hurts. Your eyes burn. You keep adding. You have failed at something. Once, maybe twice. And now you build walls around the next attempt. More preparation. More research. More steps. More weeks before you start. The gear turns. The load grows. The bench bends. In 1903, Henry Ford founded the Ford Motor Company with one idea: build a car that weighs less than every other car. 1 room, 1 bench, 1 engine, 12 parts instead of 40. No investors to please. No departments to justify. No secretary. No meetings. No reports. The gear that had turned for 12 shafts now turned for one purpose. The load dropped. The friction stopped. The machine moved. He did not simplify because he was smart. He simplified because he had failed twice adding things that did not matter. The 40-page prospectus did not build the engine. The 3 departments did not build the engine. The 2 locations did not build the engine. The Tuesday meetings did not build the engine. The Friday reports did not build the engine. The engine built the engine. 12 parts, 80 pounds, 1 room on Bagley Avenue. The first Model A had no roof, no doors, no reverse gear, no windshield, no horn. Buyers complained. They wanted options. They wanted colors. They wanted comfort. Ford said, buy it or don't. I am building the next one. The complaints were noise. The simplicity was signal. He did not add what they asked for. He removed what they did not need. The Model T had 15 million buyers. It had no options, no colors, no variations. One car, one price, one purpose. The same engine, the same frame, the same wheels, for 19 years. Every part he refused to add was a part that could not break, a cost that could not rise, a decision his workers did not have to make twice. Ford kept the ledger from the first company. The pages are thick with crossed out names. 12 became 6 became 1. The ink is faded. The paper is soft from handling. He kept it not as a reminder of failure. He kept it as a list of what not to add. The names on the page were not enemies. They were weights he had tried to carry. The boy who kept the extra gear in his pocket grew into the man who threw away 28 parts and kept 12. He never stopped asking what could be removed. The one room on Bagley Avenue is still there. You can stand where the bench was. You can see that the space where he built the engine was smaller than your kitchen. The gear that changed the world did not need a bigger room. It did not need more investors. It needed a smaller load. It needed one shaft. It needed to fit. Tomorrow, pick one thing you do today with 5 steps. Remove one. Not the last one. The middle one. The step you added to prove you were thorough. The step everyone skips anyway. The paragraph that repeats the first one. The attachment no one opens. The meeting that could have been an email. Remove it. Do not replace it. Leave the gap. Watch what happens. If no one notices, remove another. If someone notices, ask them what the step did. Listen. The silence is your answer. The third company had one investor, himself. It lasted 44 years. The first lasted 18 months with 12 investors. The second lasted 12 months with 6. The gear that carried 12 loads broke. The gear that carried 1 load turned for 44 years. The men who took Ford's name off the door are footnotes. The company they kept, Cadillac, is owned by the company that later tried to buy Ford and failed. He outlasted them all. Not because he finally got it right, because he finally stopped adding. I simplify what others complicate. I simplify what others complicate. I simplify what others complicate.